yeah, me, I'm feisty. I think the guy said, Bokumoyanda, you no get talent. And I'm like, not so you business.
You're trying to learn this instrument that everybody knows. One man will say this na man they player. If na salon, will say man this na man they player.
Yeah. I would want to say to any girl, if you want people to applaud you, you should create the platform for them to do so.
This is about culture and the barriers that hold people back from accepting new things, changing things that don't work, and just embracing the evolving tides of the world.
Culture lives in the heart. It lives in your behavior. It lives in your philosophy. It is there because if we do not hold African, the Afrocentric aspect of our lives, what more can we do for Africa?
Welcome to Honestly Speaking, the podcast where we have honest conversations about the issues shaping our lives. I'm your host, Antonia Howard, and today we're talking about culture. Culture is often spoken about as something fixed, something inherited, protected, even guarded. We're told who does what, who is supposed to do this, who is not supposed to do what is allowed, what should remain unchanged. But culture is also lived, it evolves, and it responds to the people bold enough to step into it differently. And my guest today is one of those people. She is Miss Lala Bayani Sidibe. And she's a young Sierra Leonean woman learning and performing the Kora, an instrument historically associated with mill griots, oral historians, that's who they are, storytellers. The men you see who are sometimes, telling stories, narrating history, those are the griots. She is also the executive director of the Empowered Girls Advocacy, where she works with young girls to build confidence, agency, and their voice. And most recently, through her journey in the Miss Sierra Leone pageant, she has experienced national visibility, leveraging the Kora and her work with girls to challenge expectations around leadership and cultural expression. Welcome to Honestly Speaking,
I
Miss
am
Sidibe.
so honored to be here. I have butterflies in my stomach, by the way.
Well, don't worry. By the time we're like 2 minutes into the conversation, you'll forget about the butterflies. Where do I start? Did you, when did you decide you wanted to play the kora? This is significant, as I said in my intro, because this instrument is not something women play. Typically in West Africa, if you hear the kora, namandi play 'em. So when did you have the idea? When did you begin to nurture this dream?
The dream was before I went to Mali in 2024. So I've always been listening to Kora sounds, and since I was in Guinea and Mali, I grew up there also. The sounds always give me that nostalgic memories that, oh, I used to listen to these songs, but I never knew of Kora. But later, in my quest to know more about music, I learned about it through these music apps. And one thing that happened to me was when I was on the plane, going to Mali, the thoughts just came to my mind. I've been an artist. I've always been looking for visibility with who Lala is. And I'd wanted to show my potential. So I thought about it and say, oh, Kora is in Mali. I'm going to Mali for holiday 1 month. I just need to keep myself busy with it. But I never knew the constraints that it will come with. I know it's a male dominated part, but I know I could make it there. But I thought about so many things that I could attach to it and they make sense to me. So that's encouraged me from the start of the lessons of having the Kora.
Did you face any resistance trying to access lessons for the Kora? Being a young woman, you're from Sierra Leone and you've gone to Mali, and you're trying to learn this instrument that, oh, everybody knows. One man will say, this
Yeah.
na man they play. If na salon, will say,
Yeah.
you know, man, oh, this na
Yeah.
man they play.
Yeah.
Did you face any kind of resistance like
I
that?
did not. I have challenges, but I did not face any resistance from my family that were there. The one thing they were even admiring me that how could you from Sierra Leone be interested in Cora? But on a second thought, they said, okay, it's maybe she's also trying to understand more about our heritage, our roots, and Mali. They were the people who created this instrument. So they loved the idea. And for any morning I will wake up, they will always bless me. They will shower blessings on me. Like they will be like, may God make this Cora take you to bigger places. May this Cora also expand who you are so people will know you are doing this in Bambara. So every morning, that's refreshing alone. And even on the first day, when I was introduced to my Cora tutor, he said, Bon courage. He knew it wasn't easy, but he saw the passion. He saw this thing, what would they call pacrioti bet in me. I was so energetic when I saw the Cora the first day. Even I immediately I saw the Cora, I was just and I said, how do I play it? But the moment my fingers landed on the strings, saw started coming up and they were like testing me. And I said, no, I had to use pins to bust these
Mm.
blisters on my fingers, and I continued playing.
Wow, that's incredibly inspiring.
Yes.
What were what were you thinking at that time? You had said on your way to Mali, you had a vision that, you know, you had so many ideas about how you could use the Kora to show who Lala truly is, and it could open you up to many different um spheres, many different sectors, many different things that you wanted to do. So, going to Mali and beginning the lessons, what were you thinking at that time when you began to face the challenges?
Well, the challenges, they only came up when I returned. But the challenges at that time was the language barrier. I do not speak Bambara, and Malians do value their local language compared to French. So I do not speak Bambara. That was another issue. So for most times, I could only connect with the Kora through sounds, the sounds they make. That's how I could learn it. And the other beautiful thing for me was on the day I started my lessons, the day after, I created a sound which now I play, which is the salona we own. The sounds
Mhm.
you hear, those were just something that came out from okay. I do not understand what these people are saying, but let me create something so it could give me, it could continue to put the fire ablaze, so the fire will not go down. So those were the challenges. But the ones in Sierra Leone is number one, I do not have someone who can teach me the Kora. Number two, I do not have someone who can repair my Kora should in case the strings go badly. And number three, I do not have that the language also, Kora is mostly dominated by either the Soso or the Madingo or Bambara, but here we speak Creole. When you try to write a song in Creole, doing it in Kora, it's as if you have to use the piano melody or the keyboard melody, but you cannot use the typical Kora sounds to Creole. But I am
Why is that? Why is that? Because I was just listening to some saloon music before you came, and I'm saying to myself, Creole is such a beautiful and playful language. It's so raw, it's so direct as
Mhm,
well, and you can play around with words. You can play around with words where you make music in
mhm.
Creole, and I was just enjoying that. So hearing this um, you know, it being challenging to write songs for the Kora
Mhm.
in Creole is a bit difficult to understand.
Yes.
So, how is that? How does that work? Why is it problematic for you?
Just like you said, it's direct. Creole is very direct. But if you listen to the likes of Madingo, you try to put it in a song, you know, they have these jelly mussels, jelly bars.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
when they sing, it's like they're enchanting you with words. It's something like, Famba musu, yeah, yeah, yeah. But if you want to put that in Creole, you'd be like, hey, Papa God, something like that. So when you listen, there are differences. For someone who hears Creole, it's like very funny, but it will not be because I'm working very hard on it.
Mm.
Because by the time I round off with my studies at the university, I am very much going to be involved into Kora and creating an album from the Sierra Leone roots.
And we look forward to it.
I
We
am
look forward to it.
very much working
So,
towards.
what are you studying now?
I'm studying gender and development studies at Robe College.
And that's another side of the work that you do, right?
Yes.
With your organization,
Yes.
TEGA.
Mhm.
Um, what led you to do that? What led you down that path?
I started mentoring girls at the age of 17. Like, for me, it was legal at that point because I had started way back. Like, I could remember parents giving me their kids to take to school. And when I returned them home, they would be complaining these kids to me. And I would tell them, I'm a child too. You're complaining your child to a child. Why? What do you want me to do? So this continued. And also, I was someone who was involved in so many activities in school. So that created the influence, the admiration. So most of them see me as model. And there was a time one girl even complimented how long my uniform was. She was like, I sewed my uniform long because you wear it long. So I love it. And I was like, okay, this is happening. So I should be serious. So I started mentoring girls at the age of 17, but it was in a Christian form. Every day after school, they will wait on me. I will tutor them the word of God, and then they will leave. If they are sick, I will visit them. If their parents have issues with them, they will call me home. We will sit and talk to the girl. And this continued. But in 2018, this is very funny. There is this lady that celebrated her birthday in school. All of a sudden, girls started complaining that the chicken has blood in it. And my birthday was just a week after that lady's birthday, and I was thinking the same thing. Then I said, should I come and work for people who will complain about blood in a chicken instead of saying thank you? So I said no. So I went to my teacher of English. He wrote letters, some letters for me. I started giving it out to my neighborhood. So mostly I will give people who I greet a lot. You know, Sierra Leone, when you greet someone, they will always say, this girl, she's respectful. Okay, let me help her, something like that. So I gave them letters. My church, I gave them some letters. But the beautiful part of it was me going to my church office and I saw a box. I designed it with paintings, drawings of, you know, this one stick where they put zero at the edge, you put the balance to them. So I did that. And I used to evangelize in Poda Poda. So I went there and I started saying, my people, I am going to do donation on my birthday. You will definitely see it on AYV. I had no idea how I could even access a journalist from AYV. And I said, I'm going to give it to children who are disabled in an orphanage. Do contribute. So because of that trust, they gave me money. I would go to school again. I was a devotion conductress. I would say, give me money and I will sing for you. So just imagine the entire population of Girls High School during devotion time. That's a lot of money, 500 leons. So they gave that to me. One day I went to Ministry of Children's and Gender and Children's Affairs, and the minister, I was hoping for her to contribute also, but I was at the door. Then a lady saw me and she had wanted to do something for our school. But all of a sudden, I had to be there to mediate that. So I've already given her my word. And she asked me why I was there. So she saw me also drawing on my notepad. And she said, okay, do a painting, sell it at my events, and then contribute to your charity. I did so, and it was sold for 2.6 thousand. And that money, when I gave to my mom to save it for me, she was like, now that painting where you sell and then give you 2.6 million. I'm like, yes, ma, yes, ma. So she's like, you should take this thing seriously. You should take this
I was
seriously.
really just wondering about what your parents were saying at the time, and you being bold and outspoken and just a natural, this is how I would describe it, a natural leader.
Yeah.
People, when they look at you, they see leadership.
Yes.
And I wonder what part of your upbringing really shaped or nurtured that characteristic in you.
We have so many alpha females in my family. The most successful people in my family were the women or are still the women who is in business, who is in education, whatever thing they put their hands into or minds into, they are going to excel. And they always carry this leadership with them. But one thing I love about my family, it's that they are very constructive with regards what how they put out complaints there if someone is affecting them mentally. And also, they're very humble. You would see them being who they are, yet they offer people help. They do a lot of things that will make people to know that these are people who care for humans. And again, they love God. You know, my mom, when she was praying for me last week, Sunday, she was telling me, do not forget God, do not forget God. And I'm like, thank you, ma. I will not forget God. Who will forget God? Who will forget God? So this is the type of women that I am amongst with, like I am living with, sorry, I am living with. And for every morning when they wake up, you see purpose. You see purpose. They wake up with it. If they have to prepare their food to go. And even my aunt, she challenged me, though I couldn't beat her, but she was the best student graduating from a school of theology, and in her 40s. So these are women that gives me hope, and a role model is something I do not play with.
It's absolutely beautiful just hearing you speak and just listening to your journey
Mm.
and, all the things that have led you to where you are now.
Mhm.
So how do you intersect, the different parts of your work, the Kora and your advocacy with girls?
Mm. I remember you were also present in the room when they launched you to us,
Hmm.
and I was thinking of a song, and I always know this that the moment a woman do not give birth, they will start calling you names. The moment a woman is going through what she's going through, without even finding out the effect of it on her, they will start calling her names. So, with the beautiful voice that God gave me, added with the Kora, I had to amplify that. So, it's like I was breaking two chains. The aspect of Kora not being played by a woman, it's now been played by a woman, and also the part where people are not vocal with regards these things that are affecting women. So that was what was happening. So having that, it goes side by side. That's why as a storyteller, I combined the two, and people do understand from the aspect of music.
I've listened to you perform a number of times, and it's always, always, always so soothing. Um, Whatever you they sing,
Hmm.
the words they always come out so beautifully, and the melodies of the Kora are just like everything is just so beautiful. So we tell God thank you for this beautiful gift that He's given you,
Yeah.
and for us to be alive to see it and to enjoy it. Now let's talk about your journey to Miss Sierra Leone, the
Mm,
pageant,
mm.
what that was like, and why you decided to go for the pageant.
So Miss Sierra Leone was just a platform, as they always say, to sell what I have. I have potential, I have intelligence, I am vocal, but I'm very constructive with how I talk about women's problem. I'm also this kind of person. I'm that. So that's what I brought. And it was accepted by people. Though some people were looking at this your first time. And I'm like, don't even try to see me in your profession. I will clear everybody out of that place. Someone saw me with camera and was like, we will let this camera work for you. Yeah, that's how I am. I'm very intentional about anything I'm doing. And this affected me in so many ways that people do not see out there because I do not talk
And
about
that
it.
that's what I want to ask, because for um from my experience, from someone who is always elect na cleaning work I get, I will do it to the best of my ability. Elect me na broom na
Mm-hmm.
me na, if not for pack broom na me talent, I will do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
For someone who is like that, sometimes it can be really exhausting.
Yes.
I wonder what your challenges are with that.
And the fortunate thing was, because I will never say it's unfortunate, I was on campaign during that period. It's like I was attending to student union campaigns, and I was also getting ready for the Miss Sierra Leone pageantry. So the moment all those were mixed up, I had to say to myself, before I disgrace my family, let me just fall and be dramatic there. So that's why I had to walk that stage. I had to walk. I walked. I was not used to being in certain posture, walking on heels, but I had to do it. I remember that I was even tired of smiling, but you were just doing something like this to me. And I was like, this woman does not know the pain I'm going through from smiling. But these are the things that made the challenges not to be seen, because I have an amount of people that were behind me. They were full force. My mom, that was not in agreement with me going to Miss Sierra Leone, they said she even created sound systems. They were even using phones by phones to pass so they could see. She was even crying, thinking, how did she get all of this? I did not see it. That's how I am. And now I'm happy because girls come to me. One thing they ask about is, we want to empower our public speaking. We want to know how to present. Now it's no longer about beauty, though beauty is there. But now they look at intelligence.
Mhm.
That's what I represent. So when girls meet me and say, we want to do this, I say, I'm behind you. I'm behind you, because that's what people said to me when I reached out to them.
Mm.
We are behind you.
What was your mom's reservation about Miss Sierra Leone?
She just believed that Lala do a lot. Like, I do a lot. Uh, Today I will tell you I'm an artist. Tomorrow I will tell you I'm a dancer. And the funny thing about all of this is I actually have these talents. And anytime I work on them, they just blossom. So my mom was just like, this is another one. And just imagine your daughter told you the day she went for the audition, the day I went for the audition, that's when I did everything, the paperwork, everything at Miss Sierra Leone. And after the audition, I went to her and told her, I go for Miss Alono. Just like that. And I say, I'm going for Miss Sierra Leone. So I was very strategic with the people I brought on board, likes of my manager, Mumini. I want to say thank you very much. And also Latoya. I reached out to Latoya. She gave me 1 week silence. When she came back, I was shouting. I was shouting. And she was there all full out. When you know who Latoya is, you know she's very reserved. And even you, I did not know you were even someone who would be part of our mentorship session. But I asked you, which hairstyle do you think will suit a queen? And you said, just wear what you have. You're a crown already. So
Exactly.
all of those things were in place.
I am a firm believer in going as yourself.
Yes.
Don't do anything that would make you uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, you want to be comfortable and you want to bring your very best self to the stage. I mean, pageantry is a whole different game, because when you move from Sierra Leone and you start, attending or competing in, let's say, regional pageants, then global pageants, each pageant will have their own rules
Yeah,
and
regulation,
regulations. And there are things that may disqualify you, but, at the end of the day,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
you do it because this is you.
Yeah.
There was just a huge scandal a couple of months ago with is it Miss World or Miss Universe?
Yes, yeah, Miss
Um,
Universe. Yes.
where one of the contestants just couldn't bear being disrespected
Yes.
anymore. And she spoke up and she stood up and walked out,
Yeah.
and she did it, and she was proud of just being herself.
Yeah, and she ended
So,
up being the Miss Universe.
So, I think that's such great advice for anyone who's interested in pageantry, or anyone who is interested in doing anything in the public sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself, be your authentic self. Don't do anything that would make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In that pageant, you leveraged the Kora and your work with girls,
Yes.
um, to basically win the audience and to win over the judges.
Judges.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, what was? Do you remember what you were thinking about as you performed the song or as you did your presentation?
I think I was the moment the sound did not come out clearly, the Kora, and my opponent's supporters were on my back, and I think the only thing I had to do was Lala does best. I had to be like, give you just the minimal savage aspects of me. Like, don't come at me. And I was so surprised the way the crowd took it because a queen is not supposed to do that, like to get back at someone. But I think I did it
Well,
beautifully.
people say a queen is not supposed to do that, but some queens are just feisty. Eh?
Yeah, yeah. Me, I'm feisty. I think the guy said, Bokomoyanda, you no get talent. And I'm like, not so you business. And I remember telling people the importance of Kora. So me doing that was right at the moment because nobody knows about Kora. If you know the history of Kora and even Sona Jabates, you would know this is not a child's play. I'm pioneering a whole movement for generations to play instruments as Kora. So I was happy that I did that. Someone said I shouldn't have reacted because during the program, the show, I was also inhabiting the likeness of being a stoic because that helped me. It helped to shape me during and after the competition. So yes, and I am happy. And even during my presentation for the Beauty with Purpose, I think I was not thinking too much. I was just doing what Lala does best. I was just showing because me, I love to talk and show you area. I was even pointing at myself, my reproductive area, telling people, do you wash it well? So all of those things made people to fall in love with me because that's how I am. I believe that education is imaginary. It comes with pictures. So if you create pictures in people's mind, it gives them an easier understanding of what you're saying. And it emphasizes the need for you to take it seriously, considering that was women's reproductive health and considering this is not a thing that people talk about. So I was just happy I said it on that day and it was beautiful. People were like, hey, and I was happy. I was happy. And I had challenges with showing my showing
Your
my
slides.
PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Yes, I was having a challenge. And I just said to them, do not worry. Do not worry. I took with me a pad, like I started with as I started my presentation, and I just wrote down the bullet points. So this is the beauty of knowing what you want.
Mhm.
Nothing can stop you. So with those in my hands, they were my weapons on that day.
And I was there, and it was a really good presentation, and your performance, with all its imperfections,
Mm,
I would say, was flawless.
I
um you all put up a good show. This is by far, it was at the time, the best Miss Sierra Leone I
mm,
had attended. The queens were all so fabulous, so well spoken and confidence,
yeah,
because that's the biggest thing for me.
yeah.
For me, it doesn't matter how you look. It no matter if you English get accent or you not get
Mm-hmm.
accent. It no
Yeah,
matter if you grammar they come out fine or they come out fine.
yeah.
It's how you carry yourself, how you pick up from your mistakes if you make a mistake, and just the confidence in your eyes and in your body language. That's what matters for me. Um, when you talked about the Cora and the weight of it that you were feeling on that day, and I wonder generally, when you decided you were going to start learning how to play the kora, you were going to take up the lessons. I wonder if that weight was present. Like, okay, I'm going to be the first young woman in Sierra Leone playing the kora, or young woman in the Mano River playing the kora. Did you have that weight on your mind? And maybe I shouldn't call it a weight, but were you thinking about that? And how did you process it? Is this something that you wanted to go for? Like, I want to be this person.
Yeah. I think I for everything I displayed during Miss Sierra Leone's contest, it was a well thought process and processed because during the audition I was asked the question, how mentally prepared are you? And during that same day I went to the beach and I started dancing with the wave as the wave comes. And I created a picture in my mind that the wave is the people. The stars are out there. That's my fellow competitors. And I'm the moon amongst those stars. And the waves coming at me can be people bashing at me. But what was I doing? I was just steady. So when I created that in my mind, it made me to be calm. During Miss Sierra Leone, when I was performing, my expectations were for the sounds to go well. However, when I did not see that, something just prompts me and say, sing. You do not have the Kora with you. You have the presence of the Kora, but your voice can tell the story you want them to hear. So I started singing. And from there, I just looked at the faces of the judges and I was like, oh my God, have I blunder here? Have I done anything that will affect me? But again, I saw a smile. I've been blessed that on that day, I had several people that were my supporters that were in front. So when someone is supporting you, even if you're doing the worst, they will smile at you. So they smiled. And I was like, okay, this is good. Let me just end it here. And for the fact that I've been engaging with the public for so long, it's made me to know when and how to go off the stage. So I've noticed that. So it did not create that momentum that will die out. Instead, it increased the cheering. So the weight was really on me, considering that I'd only started learning this thing for a few months before 2025. And I do not even know what people were expecting of me, but I did it anyway. So my vision on that day was as I am singing, I would just tell people to sing with me. But it was never too late. I believe there will be a crowd that it will happen and things are manifesting. And I feel like people are just so hopeful that though they didn't hear much of it, but anytime they see me in a crowd or somewhere that I will be singing, they'll be like, finally, I'm going to listen to you. And I'll be like, okay, this one is calm. Let's go for it. So that's inspiring on its own.
Yeah, and ever since Miss Sierra Leone, you've performed in many places. You've performed for the First Lady. You've performed at, big gatherings, small gatherings, and the Kora, Lala and the Kora continue to grow.
Mm.
As we round up the conversation now, this is about culture and the barriers that, hold people back from accepting new things, um, changing things that don't work, and just embracing the evolving tides of the world. You deciding to play the kora, something an instrument that is historically played by men, is you breaking one of those barriers. It's you putting it, knocking down the door to say, I can do this. I can play the kora. It's not meant for men only. So what do you say to young girls or young women who feel like there are certain things that they cannot do because they are women or because they are girls?
I always say this. Sierra Leonean women are beautiful. Sierra Leonean women are.
Aren't we?
We are very beautiful. Sierra Leonean women are energetic. However, we've given a picture in the nation that we cannot do it, but we can. And in that light, I've seen many women sing, but it's either they are lead singers or backup singers. But you will not see many that are playing instruments, considering cultural instruments. And if they play the cultural instrument, it means they are from the rural communities. And if you look at me, you will not see anything like culture. It is in me. Culture lives in the heart, it lives in your behavior, it lives in your philosophy. It is there because if we do not hold African, the Afrocentric aspect of our lives, what more can we do for Africa? It's patriotism on its own. So I would want to say to any girl, if you want people to applaud you, you should create the platform for them to do so. And whatever your messages are, they will hear you loud and clear. And just believe in the aspect of you doing it and doing it to the best of your ability. Nobody is lucky. I am not lucky. I am not lucky for people to love me on that day. I am not doing anything aside from me working hard. And that's what I say. Be you, be authentic, be respectful. I love people who are respected. I love people who give respect. And I always feel like humility is one part of our life that they feel like anytime a woman grows beyond the horizon, they believe she will go wayward. But no, there is a difference between you taking you being stepped on and you being stepped on and being apologized to. So let's take every aspect of our being seriously. We have a lot that we're going through. If not menstruation, it's hormones. If not hormones, it's follicular. If not follicular, we have ovulation. It's a lot. So just believe in your heart you will make it. And the aspect of finance, which I will not take out from this conversation, is save up as you can, because any dream, it needs money. And those dreams, sometimes you knock at some door, they expect certain things. So for you to be outstanding, you have to save up any little you have, put your heart into it, and go for it. God go there by your side. God go there by your side.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this, Lala. Earlier, Lala was saying that she doesn't know the song I'm singing because she's Gen Z.
I'm very Gen Z. But the beautiful thing about my Gen Z is I'm not Gen Z, Gen Z.
You're Gen Z by age,
Yes.
but you're not Gen Z by heart.
No, I'm not. Because even slangs, there are certain conversations I have when, like, even for my birthday, someone was posting TMOE. And I'm like, what does TMOE mean? But I did not ask. I do not want to be shamed.
Please, if you do know what TMOE means, please put it in the comment section because I am curious as well. Thank you so much for your time, Lala. Thank you for coming and speaking honestly. That's it for today's episode of Honestly Speaking. Thank you for listening and being a part of these important conversations. If you've enjoyed today's discussion, please like and share. And if you're feeling inspired, do leave a review. I'd love to hear what you think. And of course, carry on the conversation online. Share your thoughts, experiences, and ideas using hashtag HonestlySpeakingSL. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and stay honest.